Greetings all, greetings all, greetings all, greetings all, greetings all. Derek back with another bitch fest. This is of course going to be on the Bitter Queen of Mayfair, where I just rant and rave. Actually today, believe it or not, it's not going to be so much a ranting and a raving. Today's topic is a compilation of some of the nasty, horrible things that people have said to me over the years. I was trying to shoot for like a top 50, but I only came up with 30, I guess in the essence of time, or maybe my brain just did not want to remember everything. So this might actually be part 2. I'm going to try to keep it as funny and as entertaining as possible. And the things I'm about to read, as I was even reading over this stuff, some of it actually made me laugh, and I didn't feel my pain body, which should be a topic. Pain body, but that should go on my Derek's Mind channel, the Days of Derek's Mind, because that's more of a psychological sort of thing. All the pixelating. Whatever. So yeah, I was even kind of like going, whatever, bitches, as I was reading the list. It's like, whatever. Consider the source. And really, that's how I'm going to preface this before I start reading these things. And I will try to give a little bit of a context as quickly as I possibly can. I ought to do this De Niro style. It's like, fuck you. So you might actually hear me say a few of that. You know, I think it's about 30, or maybe a little under 30. I think there's going to be a part 2, to be honest with you. Maybe even part 3, part 4, part 5, blah, blah, blah. But I've broken it down into categories. Some of the categories include some of the nasty things that former bosses have said to me, classmates have said to me, co-workers have said to me, shit said to me, even in the acting community here in Georgia, believe it or not. Definitely have things family has said to me. As a matter of fact, as of now, the family category is the most. So let's buckle up and get ready, and let's get started. Compilation of nasty things that have been said to me over the years. Oh, and by the way, actually some of these things, some of you may have had said to you as well. Let's go. Let's do it. Let us go ahead and start with family. Excuse me. Have to get my glasses for this one. So here we go. This is what was said to me as a child growing up. I wish your mama and daddy would take you back now. Actually, it was like this. I wish your mama and daddy would take you back now. And as much as I hate to throw people in my family under the bus, my own grandmother said that. I guess it was just too much to handle. Oh, and if you don't know, yes, I was raised by my grandparents and my aunt in Wadesboro, North Carolina, rather than my parents who lived in Washington, D.C. Anyway, next. Longhead. I love my aunt dearly, the aunt who helped to raise me. I have no idea what that really means and why she said that to me. But it was meant to hurt me, and I'm going, is my head really that long and all this kind of stuff? I mean, I have a friend that says, Dear, why's your head so big? Because I'm filled with knowledge and I'm filled with wisdom, bitch. Next. When you act like an adult, you'll be treated like one. The William Frank character said that to me. You may know him as my father. Really? Seriously? And truly? When that boy grows up, he's gonna be sorry. Now, this is something that my grandfather used to say to me as I was growing up. In reference to me. Sorry means, just FYI, in reference to me being lazy. I guess because I wanted to sleep in on Saturdays, and, you know, he didn't like that because he was always up at the butt-ass crack of dawn doing stuff, even when he retired. I'm like, okay, whatever. To me directly, he just flat out said, you're going to be sorry when you grow up. Yeah, sorry I know you. Sorry I know y'all. Next. You know he doesn't want you down here. Now, this is what my aunt said to me in reference to the Frank character. I don't want to really go into it, but it was just sort of that whole thing of there was a part of me. I don't know if I felt this in the beginning of me being raised in Anson County, Wadesboro, North Carolina. I don't think I quite felt that yet. I think it was that moment that my aunt said that to me, and I will never forget. I was in the living room. I was flat on my stomach watching TV, and for some reason she came in there and she got down on my level and she said that to me. I was watching something on television, of course. Again, this was in the living room, and I want to say this was about 1974. Well, fast forward to many years later when my grandmother told the truth about what really was going on in the house, and I'm going to save that for another clip. It's like, no wonder you don't want me down here. And it wasn't my aunt or my grandmother, it was my grandfather, the Frank character is what I really call them. I'm going to just touch in on that. If you hear me referring to so-and-so as the so-and-so character, that is how I look at some of these creeps, bitches, bastards, assholes from my life. I look at them as just characters in a soap opera, characters in a TV show, movie. They have no connection to me. I have no feeling towards them one way or the other, except for hatred. And even in some cases, there is no feeling at all. You're just whatever. Moving on. As long as you live in this house, you're going to church. My beloved grandmother said that. And the reason why I'm smirking and laughing is because how I feel about religion and Christianity now. That's definitely going to be a clip. But it's the whole idea of really, when you have got the Frank Ratliff character, my grandfather, with his little Bible open at his spot at the kitchen table, and he cheated on you repeatedly, and other things that I won't reveal here. Next. Shut up! Hold on, let me start over. Shut up that crying or I'll give you something to cry about. We've all heard that one. So let me just say it again. Shut up that crying or I'll give you something to cry about. I think we've all heard that. And my grandmother said that to me. Gosh, that must have been a handful. He didn't treat me right. Actually, this one makes me laugh. This is what my mother has told me on more than one occasion when the Frank character, the Frank Ratliff character, was on his deathbed back in 2003, I think December of 2003, in reference to me. You're dying and you want to bring me up, and I've done nothing to you. You did everything in the world to me and against me, and you were extraordinarily hateful to me, but I didn't treat you right. And I think what he was talking about was he seems to, or he thought, sorry, because he's gone, can't say he seems. It seems that he thought I exposed his affairs when growing up, I had no idea about them. I didn't know a thing about them until my grandmother told me about them in 1987. And see, this is a whole thing about where, oh, now we know why Derek is such a bitch. As we close out the family part of all of this, this is what the William Frank character, or my father, has said to me before. I think this is when I was a kid, teenager probably. They're not teaching you anything down there, are they? Speaking about his parents and his sister. And I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. So why don't we move, So why don't we move on to, I'll just pick one. How about coworkers? Actually, for some reason, this is shorter or sweeter, which really to me is not correct, but I'll say the two that I've got here. I might have to put you in check. Okay, so this is a black person who said this to me at CMA. Figure it out. Figure out CMA. Figure it out. So I'm going to say it like this, because I know black people like to say that to people. I'm going to put you in check. You know something? When it comes to trying to put me in check, and let me take my glasses off when I say this, trying to put me in check, you're the ones who end up getting checked, because the person who said this to me, I'm not going to tell you the horrible things that happened to this person. Oh, I didn't do it because I don't have to put my hands on you. So when I read and found out, when I read and found out that this bad thing happened, that bad thing happened, I was like, that's what you get for trying to come after a mega bitch. Next. You act like you don't want to be here. Still the same CMA garbage. That's funny coming from you because you act like you don't want to be here either. And what's it to you? Are you paying me? Are you giving me a salary? If you're not paying me, it's none of your business whether or not I want to be here, Timbuktu, or on planet Zeron. Next, let's go into category, I don't know. Let us talk about classmates. Girl, let's go ahead and get that over with. Oh my God, let's start off with one of my favorite lines. You're a sissy, man. Yeah, and this came from a person who was accused of setting, I believe, the gymnasium, the school gymnasium at that time, on fire. I was in 6th grade. Hey, bitch, at least I'm not an arsonist. Next. Oh, of course, I was always told this growing up, in school. Mostly what I'm about to say, and it's actually very simple, painful, doesn't bother me anymore, but very painful, but it doesn't bother me anymore, and I just repeated that. But said just the same. As a matter of fact, I think that when I got into high school, it was said behind my back and not necessarily to my face, and people said that so-and-so said that. But here we go. Sissy, faggot, punk. So this is why I now laughingly refer to myself as the sissy, faggot, punk of Anson County, Waysboro, North Carolina. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Because once again, you have to consider the source. Now, a lot of these people are Trump supporters. Need I say more? Oh, and the black ones are fat and unattractive. Moving on. Yeah, I said it! Next. He ain't nothing but a punk. I ain't gonna mention the name. It's not even worth it. But, yeah, it was I'll put a fake name. He ain't nothing but a punk, Josie. I don't know, whatever. And a female said that, classmate. Actually, this female I'm talking about who said this to the other female, I consider her to be my first girlfriend. This is when I was in elementary school. Girlfriend. Anyway, yeah. Didn't you lose a couple of people out of your family? And if you don't get what punk means, that's another reference to me being a homosexual, because people from where I come from are apparently too stupid to come up with the word homosexual. Anyway, here was something I thought was really funny. They fight like that. So this dumb one, this crazy one, I remember this was, I think, in 5th or 6th grade. And I want to say the setup was I think that it was in reference to one of the big main bully boys. Not so tough now, I understand he's going through some health challenges. Anyway, who was trying to get I guess she was considered a tough black female girl who could fight boys. And they were trying to get her to fight boys, and that was what she said about me. Oh no, I don't want to fight him, they fight like this. Actually, bitch, I fight like this. Actually, what I do is run people over my car. Next, let's move on to the next category. Alrighty, picking up where I left off. So, bosses. Now, I'm really surprised. I only have 2 on here. One is really yesteryear, and the other one is actually kind of more recent, as of a couple of months ago. I no longer work for either of these places, thank God. But here we go. If I have anything to say to you, I'll say it to your face. Okay. This was the last job I had in North Carolina, actually, before I moved here to Atlanta in 1993. And what's funny about the person who said this, a female boss, Caucasian, is that in the early days of me having moved here, I would go back and I would actually go visit her, and we'd go to lunch, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, and she was a holy roller. I wonder what she thinks about today's times. She's probably a you-know-what-her. All right, here we go. Here's another one. I am sorry you feel that way. The quick setup of that is I was called to the office again for something that I had said, which was actually in jest. And it was actually during a workshop, which I thought we could had, cut loose, have a little fun. Clearly, this particular place, I was wrong. And I was called to the office. And I'd already been called to the office twice over stuff I said. Derek, when are you going to learn to keep your big mouth shut? Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll just simply be like showing up to work. I work from home now. And I hope to keep it that way. And it's so much more peaceful. Yes. I'm just going to show up work like this. Hello. Hi. And I know that people don't like that either. I don't really care. But let me say that again. I am sorry you feel that way. And again, that was in reference to what I just told you a minute ago. But when I started telling them what I thought about them, because I'm a bitch and I'll do it. I'm sorry you feel that way is not an apology. It's condescending. Not that I was looking for an apology, because I know better than to look for an I'm sorry, an apology from any earth thing on this planet, because as I finally come to realize, a whole lot of you think you're perfect. I always will own my shit. I will always say, Derek, you shouldn't have said that. Derek, you shouldn't have done that. But when I'm not bothering you and I'm not trying to hurt you on purpose or any of that, and you want to come at me with some bullshit, and then I turn around and tell you about your fucking self, which needed to be said, and you can say, Derek, that's tit for tat. I don't care. I ain't playing by the rules anymore. And you say that shit to me, I'm sorry you feel that way. You could have just kept that. Because, again, that is extraordinarily condescending. Not an apology whatsoever. And you're not taking any responsibility. Moving on. Acting! Ooh. Girl, this is... Yeah. Let me just start off with the very first one I've got here. In reference to any time I have played a gay character, I've had cisgender, heterosexual, white male actors here in Atlanta, Georgia, who have said some of the following. You're playing yourself. And I've covered a little bit of this under my homophobia clip. And my question to those motherfuckers is, okay, so when you're playing a straight character up there on that stage or in a film role, are you playing yourself? So let me be mean and also say, as an actor, I can no doubt play stuff you can't even play. Don't try me. Next. I am funnier than you. So this is funny to me, and this is coming from a friend. Actually, we're friends to this day. Bugged me at the time, but I find it funny now. Because here in Atlanta, Georgia, especially theater, you've got a lot of actors who have so far stuck up their ass in turn. Yeah, I'm saying it. That whenever you do a comedy, they think that the laughs are for them, instead of making it about an ensemble. How many times have I heard, oh, that laugh was for me? Meaning that's what the other person said, when they get out there, oh yeah, that laugh was for me. They find me funny, which is very conceited. It's beyond conceited. And it's like, bitch, you're not even that funny. But I am happy for you that you think you are, not to mention the fact that I am happy that that's the world and the bubble you live in, that you want to live in, because that showed me that these people, when they're out there on the stage, it's not about the work, it's not about the ensemble, it's not about the script, it's about them. And trust me, honey, I know actors can be conceited. I'm an actor too. I get that. But there comes a point in time where you have to realize that, hey, guess what? Everything is not about you. And I finally learned how to really do comedy, of course, is to just not try to be funny. Is just to play the seriousness of the moment. And when I did Angels in America here as the beloved Belize, and that's just one example, I did not play for laughs. I played the seriousness of what I was doing. But I never walked off that stage and I never said, I got that laugh. I never said, I'm funnier than you. I never did any of that because that didn't go through my head. I was very happy that I was hearing laughter, but at the same time, you have to let your ego go. And so if this is a lecture, it's a lecture, because I don't care. Because that's how I came to realize that some Atlanta actors, that's how they are. I don't want to be like that. I just don't. Next. It's a pity joke. Y'all better be glad I'm not mentioning names. Not that it would matter, because what are you going to do? It's a pity joke. The quick of this is when I was doing murder mystery, and I did murder mystery for a long time. This was said to me by two people, or actually, this was said, husband and wife duo. This was said to me by the wife. It's a lot of details behind it. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Apparently, I was using the joke that the husband was doing unconsciously, and I didn't realize I was doing that. I think this happened around the time, as a matter of fact, I was moving, and so I was exhausted. And I think this person, the wife, before we even went on, was trying to tell me not to do it, but the way she was saying it didn't come out explicitly. Please don't use that joke, which I would have abided by that. And was like, I didn't realize I was doing it. And apparently I did it again. And at one point in time, she came with a huff going, well, if you're using it's a pity joke, meaning I can't come up with the material on my own. And I know people are like, Derek, that's nothing. No, you have to be there. And with some of these, you have to, it's about tone with me. It's about how you say it. And she said it very nastily. I'm being silent in this moment to say, even though that was a long time ago, I don't care. I don't care for these people. Moving on. Woo! And this is a dear friend who said this. And I love this person. This person I love. But I think it's funny in the aspect of, let me just read the comment. He reads effeminate on camera. I'm pretty sure I covered this in the homophobia clip I did, which I think was released that last month. At least I was mean when I said what I said. I think on the last one, at least kind of not mean, but huffy. So I'm just gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna take my glasses off with this. Fuck you. Not necessarily my friend who said that, but fuck the whole industry in terms of how you treat my community. From this moment on, I will play whatever I want, however I want to play it. I'm no longer gonna be in fear of, because see, this goes also back to the you're a sissy, you're a faggot, you're a punk. And it's all starting to make sense now as to why all that happened to me and bringing me to where I am today. I don't give a fuck. This is why I'm doing my own material, where I get to act as effeminate as I want. Again, another condescending thing. Masculinity is everything. And I have news for you. There is definitely a time and a place for everything. But seriously. I have a lot more I could say about that, but I'm going to move on. What category have I not gone to? Let's see. Ooh, I think so-called friends. Ooh, interesting. I can't wait to see what these cards say. I am back. I am black. I'm here. I am queer. Anyway, so yeah, I think I got cut off when my alarm went off. Anyway, so this final category is so-called friends. You're not sportive enough. Former friend from college, from my cult days, that it was actually a friend going way back to 7th grade, all the way up until college, I think, second year of college. We were both in this cult together. Not that that has anything to do with anything, but this particular person, who was also my roommate back then, was huge into sports. Something I loathe, and I can finally say it. I cannot stand sports. Felt I had to pretend to like sports to A, be this person's friend, and to B, to protect my identity from being gay, because I just associated sports with masculinity. Fucked up. But yeah, because I wasn't engaging in sports, because I wasn't watching a whole lot of sports at that particular time, which would have been now at this point like 86, 87. Although I was going to all of the Carolina football games, is Carolina grad here, football games, basketball games, and with this particular person, you're not sportive enough. This reeks to me of just, it's again, the word I'm looking for, I guess, is condescension. It's like, So what? What business is it of yours? And again, consider the flipping source. It's like, bitch, if I choose to sit on my ass all day and bake cookies, that's none of your business. Again, I can't stand sports. I can't stand sports to this day. I think they're the dumbest creations. Yeah, I said that too. I mean, people get so into sports to the point of lunacy. Moving on. Another one of my so-called besties from back then, classmates starting all the way back again from 7th grade and beyond into, gosh, well into my 40s? Or maybe into my late 30s. And that's a topic for another day as well. Because I can get you to do it. So this bitch that I'm talking about, Bossy, and a Leo, sorry Leos, Bossy, and Bossy. It was in reference to us, and I think I was starting to kind of have enough of her, even then. We were eating, because we hung out together, went on trips together, all that stuff back in the day when we were friends. We were at some restaurant, and she was like telling me, not asking, mind you, telling me to go up there and get her something, another plate, or I think it was at a buffet, get her some food or something. And I looked at her finally and said, well, how come you don't go up there and do it? And that was her answer, because I can get you to do it, which basically summed up our relationship. And I think I sat my ass in that chair. Now, I didn't go up there and do that. Now, or stupid me, maybe I did. I don't remember. But the way I am now, as I will curse you out if you try that shit with me now. I will say, you know what? Get your fat ass, because she was fat. Get your fat ass up there and get it your goddamn self. And I'll say it just like that, because I have 0 F's to give anymore. And you wonder why I'm a bitch. Moving on. I think this is the last one. Oh my God. Oh, and speaking of, trapped in a room in college, being berated for being in my cult with Bibles in hand. That's actually not what was said to me, but this has reference to when I was actually in that pathetic cult and when I was in Carolina. And the same person I just referenced with the last statement of, because I can get you to do it. Anyway, thought I'd add that in there too. I remember, I forget whose room we were in. I want to say it was somebody's. It wasn't my room. I want to say it was, and not this former friend's room. I remember 3 black females. Anyway, y'all forget I was raised by 2 very strong black females, but y'all forget that. So I can get as good as I get. Black females. There, I said that too. But let's go with love. Plus I'm a gay man. I remember that former friend was there and 2 other people, and I don't remember their names. This is how insignificant they're become. And I only came up with that because I'm trying to remember, something juicy to say. So don't have an actual nasty thing specifically that they said. I'm sure if I really thought about it, but they ganged up on me. And as y'all like to say, I do to some people, they attacked me. Bible is in hand, girl. Oh, Lord Jesus. And I think the gist of was, it's like the cult I was in, it was a cult, and I own that. And no, I should not have been in it. But they were not very nice about it. It was like I was on trial, and again, reason 5,257,645 that I'm a bitch. I hope that you have enjoyed me going down memory lane with these nasty comments and everything. I promise you I will have more, because I have a feeling this is going to be a part 2, girl. I should have a cocktail with me doing this, because this actually has been fun. It really has been fun. Not mad. It's that whole thing of, let me take my glasses off, that whole thing of when you do get to a certain point in your laugh, it's like you really do have to consider the source. You really do. And I also want to add this, because this part may kind of sound like the Days of Derek's Mind mental health thing. Please put comments down on things that have said to you. I'm here for you. I really am. I know this is the bitter ranting thing channel, but we've all been there. We've all had people say nasty things to us, and it's like you have the whole thing of don't take it to heart, consider the source, don't take it personal. Which I hate that phrase, don't take it personal, because my thing is what it said to me, and then it's personal. Just ridiculous, stupid comments from ridiculous, stupid people. And I know I have mentioned family, and I've mentioned certain members of my family. And I have definitely forgiven them. Because in terms of that, which I have read today, you have no idea how much pain went on in that house. That was actually caused by the Frank character. So it's not a whole lot that, even though my grandmother said stuff, my beloved aunt said stuff, that hurt. It's like when you find out the truth about certain things, it's like, now I understand. But again, I wanted to just simply say thank you all so much for this journey. Again, I have 3 channels set up now. The Days of Derek's Mind, still the Bitter Queen of Mayfair, which is what you're on right now, and Derek Talk Soaps. Please like, share, subscribe. There is more coming. I can promise you that. I have a lot of ideas. And look, if I didn't say it at the very, very beginning, I'm going to try to keep this clip short and sweet.